Hi, this is Joseph. It is Thursday. It's November 4th. Let me show you what we did. Today was a good trading day. Today so far we've earned 240 pips. For the last 4 trading days, including today, since Monday, we've earned 580 pips as a result of using these trades. So if you've been watching some of the videos on the YouTube channel or on my website, you see that I've been posting quite a bit of the HL30 trades that have been setting up over the last few weeks. It is a trade that sets up just about every single day. I did show a comparison yesterday, so I'll show you again today. This is the dollar Swiss. So we've had, you can see how often we get the HL30s. There was actually an HL30 here over here, but I had stripped out some of that data. I just wanted you to see each one of these is a separate day. We did not get an HL30 today. We had one yesterday. All of them usually hit their 60 pip targets. So let me review what happened today. So this is the HL30 on the euro dollar. The HL30 basically, in a nutshell, is me trading off of, the strategy involves trading off of support and resistance. I teach all of my coaching clients how to use this technique. Extremely profitable. It works almost all the time. And what I mean by that is that, again, there's going to be some days where it doesn't fire off. We don't get an HL30. For example, we did not get an HL30 today on the dollar Swiss, but the dollar Swiss has been providing HL30s just about every single day for the last week and a half or two. So this one here, if you haven't seen the HL30 before, let me review quickly what I'm doing. Again, I'm trading off of the previous day's high or low, depending on which direction, where price closes in relation to the high or low at that rollover period. So I wait for a very specific candle pattern. I use one indicator, and if I get 100% confirmation, I get into the trade. And here was my trade. Let me go ahead and open up this one click so you can see what I'm doing here. So this was my entry. The entry right here, let me get you the price tag, was the 1.1612 level. Now, when we get into this trade, we use a 20 pip stop and a 20 pip target. So we can make more money out of the trade. As you see here, when it hits the first target, it continues to trend. It does that quite a bit. It doesn't do it every single time, but in order to maximize the profitability out of this trade, you want to be able to execute at least 2 lots. So what I teach my coaching clients to do, let's say, for example, if you're trading one mini lot and you're earning about $1 a pip, in order to take advantage of a trade like this, I would recommend you could just trade, one mini lot straight to that target right here, which would earn you a total of $20. 20 pips is $20 on a mini lot, earning about $1 a pip. I trade standard lots. A lot of my coaching clients trade standard lots. So that would be a $200 trade right there, just from the entry to that first target. We use a 20 pip stop loss. The 20 pip stop loss is if I get in at 12, then let me see this right here, 32. Right about here is my stop loss, and you can see it never really came into question, so I didn't even put the tag there. It just sort of dropped right there. This is pretty common. This is pretty typical. We really don't worry about our HL30 trades. It's very, very simple. I tell all of my coaching clients that once they get into my coaching program, when they get into module 1, when they watch the videos for the HL30, they can learn it in 15 minutes or less. If they cannot, or if they do not understand and they don't trust themselves to execute the HL30, I will personally work with them for 1 hour on a Zoom call privately, me and my coaching client. We record the whole session, and I make sure by the end of that 1 hour, you know how to do this, and they can actually execute this trade. It is really that easy. I very rarely have to get on a coaching call. It is that easy. You can learn it in 15 minutes and you're off and running. Now, there are some things that you want to learn, like the type of environment that would create an HL30 to actually fail. Because if you can identify that, then you just avoid it. I teach how to do that so that way you can minimize any failed or high-risk HL30 trades, and you're just executing the high probability trades that are going to win and turn into your favor, just like this one did. So what we do, again, 2 lots. I trade the first lot, the first open order to the first target, the second open order to the second target. When it hits the first 20 pip target, we then trade it to an additional 20 pips. That's it. Now, if you're hands-on, and what I mean by that, and you've probably heard me say this if you watch some of my videos, what I mean by hands-on, if you're trading, let's say, a lot of my coaching clients, they operate full-time businesses or they're working full-time jobs, so they can only spend so much time watching their trades. That's why this trade is so perfect. It's like a set it and forget it. Once you get the signal, you get into the trade, you set your targets, and you set your stop loss. From that point on, you can just check on it whenever you want. What you can do is you can set in price alerts just a few pips before it's supposed to hit that final target down there. The final target here in this case was, if I get in at 16.12, my final target is going to be down here at 1.1572. If it, let's say the alert rings at 1575, I'm hands-on, I trade full-time, but a lot of my coaching clients cannot. So what they do is they set in a price alert so that it notifies them as it's coming back down, and if they can see that it's likely to continue lower, they'll trail it for a few more extra pips. So effectively what we earn on a trade like this, because we're putting on 2 open orders, is we're earning 60 pips. We earn 20 pips to the first target, but that second open order earns a total of 40 pips. From the entry to the final target is 40 pips. So combined, it's $60, 60 pips, or $60 on a mini lot, $600 on a standard lot. That's how we execute this trade. The next trade that we had was here on the the dollar yen. So here's the dollar yen HL30. Let me go ahead and open up this one. You can see that here it approaches the previous day's high. There's my signal candle right here. And my entry is at 114.10. A 20 pip target, that would make it the first target 90, 113.90. And then the final target is 113.70. Using a 20 pip stop loss, if I get in at 10, my stop loss is going to be at 30. The high of that candle right there, let me get that price tag for you. The high of that candle went to 25 or 26. So it approached it, came a little bit close to it. This one right here, again, this tested that range, that stop loss, but we weren't in the trade at the time that this price level moved up to the 114.27. We were not in the trade. We didn't have a signal yet. Price went up and then came back down, closed here, and then gave us our entry. And from that point on, it was a pretty smooth ride all the way down to the first target and then all the way down to the second target. So this paid 60 pips as well, again, using 2 open orders. 60 pips if you're trading mini lots at $60, or $600 if you're trading standard lots. Now let me show you the other one that made some pretty big moves today here. This is the pound dollar. So the pound dollar printed an HL30 trade right up here. Let me review that with you. So here's the HL30 trade right up here. There's my entry. Let me go ahead and get that tag for you. The entry was at 1.3685. I used a 20 pip stop loss. So getting in at 85, my stop loss is going to be 1.3705, and you can see it never really came into question. It was pretty much a straight drop all the way down. So again, my first target is a 20 pip target, opening 2 orders. My second target is 40 pips away from the entry. Again, this one pays a total of 60 pips. I made $600 on this one. So I made $600 on the on this HL30 here on the pound dollar. I made $600 here on the dollar yen, and then I made $600 here on the euro dollar. Let's go back to the pound dollar. The pound dollar also triggered another type of trade a little bit later in the day, after I had already taken the first profits. I still had my second order open, so I was already in the money on this trade at this point when this one fired off another trade. This particular strategy is called the Good Morning London strategy. It's a different version. A lot of different people out there on the internet, they have a different version, their own version of trading the London breakout strategy. That's what most people refer to it as. I call it the Good Morning London strategy. I teach all of my coaching clients. As a matter of fact, all of my coaching clients, when they get into my coaching course, these are the first 2 strategies that they learn. They learn the HL30, and then they learn the Good Morning London strategy, because they're really, really easy. Matter of fact, we don't use any indicators when we trade this Good Morning London strategy. It's super easy. If you can trade the London open, you can execute this trade, and it works just like this. Again, 2 open orders, 2 lots, 2 open orders. The first target's a 20 pip target from the entry. The second target is an additional 20 pips further, for a total of 40 pips on that second trade. So again, another 60 pips here as it moves right back down. Again, if you're hands-on and you trade full time, you can set alerts as it's approaching that final target so that you can squeeze out more of this trade. That's what I do. But a lot of my coaching clients cannot. I want to show you what they do, or what you could expect to earn if you use a system like this and you're working full time. If you're working full time, you can still make money like this. So for the last 4 trading days, including today, since Monday, we've earned a total of 580 pips. That's $5,800 on standard lots. That's what most of my coaching clients use, standard lots. But you don't have to use standard lots. You can use mini lots, micro lots, or any variation in between. It's all up to you, whatever your comfort level is. But I want to show you just how easy this trading system is. Now, I have advanced trading systems and trading strategies that will teach you how to capture a bigger portion of these moves. Those are advanced, but to start off with, if you're still struggling, if you're still looking for a trading system and you don't have one that really works effectively, this is the one that you want. These two trading systems alone, these two strategies, I have coaching students that exclusively use these two, one or both. And for example, I've got several that use just the HL30. Many of my clients use the Good Morning London strategy. More of them use the HL30 because it's so effective. And you can see here with this dotted line, this is the rollover period. And it sets up just a few hours very often after the rollover period. So it's pretty easy. Most people can execute a trade and then set their stops and their targets and then go to sleep for the night, especially if you live here in the United States. I live in California, so it's a perfect opportunity for me. I can take these trades and take advantage of them before I go to bed. When I wake up, I see that I'm in the money or the trade's already closed out. The Good Morning London strategy, it really is specific to just the opening at the London session. So if you can't trade the London session, then you're probably not going to get too many Good Morning London trades, but it's still an effective trading system. It works really, really well for my clients that live in Europe or different places around the world where they can actually effectively trade the London breakout. But again, I also have other breakout strategies that will allow you to capitalize on moves just like this. I'm showing you these two easy trade systems because, again, if you're struggling, you can do it. You can make a full-time living. I just explained 580 pips is $5,800 if you can trade standard lots, or $580 if you're trading mini lots. That's still not bad to supplement your income in just 4 trading days. There are weeks where we get more HL30s. This week was, I'd say, about average. I wouldn't say it was a slow week for HL30s, but it also was not one of the busiest weeks. So today alone, because of this trade, I had 2 60-point trades here on the pound dollar, a 60-point trade on the euro dollar, and a 60-point trade on the dollar yen. That's 240 pips just today alone. Just today alone. Great trading strategy. And again, you can make a lot of money without even using the Good Morning London strategy, just using that HL30. There's very often, I actually have a case study on my website. If you go to my website, you can actually see it live in action, the HL30. I actually record it from the time I get into the trade. You can see it going all the way to those take profit levels. So I'm pausing it along the way. And you can see that in one day we earned 240 pips in a single day just using the HL30 alone on all 4 of the majors. It actually fired off on all 4 of the majors.